guys, did you know that Nathaniel Hawthorne was emo? In this video, we'll be analyzing his work, The Minister's Black Veil, and you will notice that he's a real pessimist.
Really? How so?
Well, maybe not emo, but he does believe that humans are naturally sinful and society pressures us to hide our true selves.
I don't feel pressured by society.
Oh yeah? Why'd you join BDSC?
Let's move on to what Hawthorne said. So, in this story, the minister of the town, Mr. Hooper, suddenly began to wear a black veil over his face, and the whole town freaked out.
He wouldn't even take it off when he died?
We'll talk about that in the first quote.
So this is at the beginning of the story when Mr. Hooper wears the veil for the first time. And he comes to the revelation that everyone is sinful, so he has decided to bear the burden for all of humanity. In this quote, Hawthorne uses symbolism of the veil to show how Mr. Hooper sees things differently now and how that physical difference results in isolation.
Literally, the veil hides his face so others can't see it, but metaphorically, it means that his parishioners couldn't see his true self. It represents the invisible barrier between everyone, because we all hide certain parts of our thoughts or personalities.
That reminds me of how they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. In the quote, it says it concealed his features except the mouth and the chin, which means that other people can't see their eyes. And it seems like that's where the emotions are, so people will be uncomfortable talking to someone if they can't see them.
And when people don't know what's going on in your head, they feel afraid, since humans naturally fear the unknown. Just like how the townspeople were afraid of the fact that their minister apparently has sinned, or has a secret. This fear is what drove the others away from Mr. Hooper, leaving him isolated.
I think there's also another side to the symbolism. The black veil added a darkened aspect to all living and inanimate things. So it altered his vision so that Mr. Hooper could no longer see light colors or white as just like bright. And white is usually associated with purity and virtue. So I think it could mean that his realization and the veil as a constant reminder changed his perspective on other people permanently.
He could no longer see others as just good and virtuous. He was aware of their sins, and in a way that also isolates you from everyone else, since you're always reminded of their flaws and can't interact with them without that on your mind.
What about the tone? Is it contemplative?
That wouldn't make sense. Hawthorne uses the words "it seemed to" and "probably" as if he's analyzing the effects of the black veil along with us.
I guess overall the theme of the quote is isolation can result from a physical change, especially if it makes you different from others in society.
Isolation is also a topic Hawthorne is very familiar with, as he did spend 12 years of his life writing alone. It's interesting how the veil representing the idea of a secret can be so powerful to the point of pushing someone out of society.
When Mr. Hooper showed up for the wedding that day, everybody thought he would take the veil off, but they were surprised when it was still on. Whoa, you can see that from the words cloud and dim the light of the candles. Dim the light of the candles that Hawthorne establishes a gloomy tone.
Yeah, it should be, because right after Mr. Hooper walked into the wedding, people felt uncomfortable. See? Tremulous and cold fingers quivered.
The comparison of the bride's death, like paleness, to the dead girl at the funeral just a few hours ago shows just how much she was frightened by the image of the black veil that it made her so afraid, even at her own wedding, a day that was supposed to be cheerful.
Hey, did you read the wedding note that Hawthorne also wrote?
Hell no, why would I read that?
Okay, so in the wedding knell, a bell that is usually reserved for funerals tolled upon the arrival of the bride. And after they got married, they committed suicide to make their love eternal.
So just like the knell, Hooper's veil shifted the mood of the wedding to something more ominous. This again emphasizes the isolation and rejection he felt just because he was different, and just because he was wearing the black veil.
Well said.
Mr. Hooper ended up wearing the veil for his entire life, and still refused to take it off at his deathbed. Before he passed away, he warned the onlookers about the veil we all wear and encourages us to take it off. Instead, embrace their insecurities.
It's also about Hawthorne criticizing the transcendentalist view on humans. Instead of believing humans are naturally good, like Emerson does, Hawthorne thinks we're evil and sinful, not virtuous.
It could also relate back to the Puritan idea of original sin. Hawthorne's family descends from Puritans after all, and maybe he was influenced.
Could be. We can certainly agree that this theme is everybody has sins and we shouldn't try to hide them, right?
I guess.
Hey Annie, I came up with a great tongue twister. Depressed people are depressed, but depressed people aren't allowed to be depressed in a depressing society where being depressed gets you on depressed, and depressed makes your depression into something that pressures you to not be depressed.
That's great, but how does it have to do with the black veil thing?
It's like what happened with Kim Jong-hyun and Chester Bennington recently.
I mean, those guys?
Yeah, those guys.
Okay.
One was a K-pop star in the band SHINee, and the other one was the lead singer of Linkin Park. Both are severely depressed, but they had to hide it for public image. Because they held it in their feelings, they eventually couldn't take it, and they committed suicide.
Oh, I get it. Just like the people in the story, they were wearing masks, but instead of holding sins, they were hiding themselves. So both the events and the short story remind us of society's pressure on us to conform and just keep a happy face in front of other people, right?
Yeah, I guess in a way, Hawthorne also supports non-conformity.
Well, Alex, look at this. So Pope Francis, the 266th head of the 1.2 billion member of the Roman Catholic Church, tells people not to live a double life.
What do you mean by double life?
So those people who don't really live by Catholic Church principles, but proclaim themselves to be very good Catholics, while Pope tells them to embrace their sins instead.
Oh yeah, he even gives an example to show the depth in which people should reveal their sins. See, look here, my life is not Christian. I don't pay my employees proper salaries. I exploit people.
Wow.
I do dirty business. I launder money. And I lead a double life.
Wait, this reminds me of the third quote when Mr. Hooper said, on every visage a black veil. So the Pope is didactic and urges people to show their sins, which is similar to the idea of wearing a black veil, which is used to symbolize the sinful nature of humans.
Do you think that we should do what the Pope and Mr. Hooper is telling us and just embrace our sins?
It's a good question, but don't you think if we did so, we will face a similar degree of isolation from society that Mr. Hooper did?
Well, reading Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Minister's Black Veil really explores those ideas by providing a physical object to represent deeper meanings. In our modern world that's so focused on maintaining a certain persona, like only posting highlights of our lives on social media and the lengths that people would go to just to defend their public image, this short story really inspires us to think about the nature of humans and whether it's inherently good or evil, and just what we should do about it.
So, in conclusion, Hawthorne is emo?
Yeah, super emo.
Transition!